Hello again, and welcome to the SorareData Game Week preview for Game Week 430. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined again by Quinny and everyone in the chat who was here for the first one. I feel bad for everybody who doesn't watch this live because they're like, what are they talking about? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sorare Souls here, double intro music. What a win. All right, I feel that. I'm glad that we can all appreciate the technical difficulties that sometimes happen that are completely out of our control, and some random 42-year-old American has no idea how to fix it. So appreciate that, guys. Appreciate everyone here. We're going to jump into the game week, but I was actually mentioning something to Quinny just before this, that I noticed that the Premier League Winter Special is running this midweek. And I was like, man, I'm pretty sure that I remembered reading. And then I went back and I was like, clearly I'm wrong. And then I went back and it's like, to the announcement, game week special. The competition runs every weekend. The Premier League has fixtures. But yet here we are in midweek with fixtures. And there it is. Kev Hurd said, still not as bad as Haber earlier. I don't know what happened to Haber.
I was on my Haber earlier and there was a technical difficulty and I could say it was a nightmare. So for me personally, I could hear myself talking and it just kept throwing me off.
You were on with Haber?
He was streaming this morning and I was sitting in here just heating the place up and I was like, send me a link. I'm just sitting about. And then I had to get done through Discord. I think it was his mic. I don't think he had a mic source go to Discord, so I couldn't hear him. Anyway, I ended up with having a workaround, but I had to listen because there wasn't actually much of a delay in the stream, if you know what I mean. I could hear,
yeah.
But it was a delay on his end, if you know what I mean, so it wasn't too bad. But it was a bit of a mind melter for me. I hate hearing my voice echo in my ear, you know.
Yeah. Man, so I guess it's just today. Today's just one of those days, and we'll just have to fight through it. There it is. But anyway, as we said, the Premier League Winter Special is running this game week. December 5 through 8, we've got all 10 teams, so good luck to everybody competing there. But like I said, maybe I just have a different definition of what weekend means.
Yeah. Maybe they think they put game week there.
I got nothing, so we'll see.
But
anyway, let's get into all of it. Oh, I already see bunch of teams I don't have players from at the top. But let's go to our favorite here. Second, oh my gosh, it's an SR Monkey week. Auxerre at the top, although they are away against who is this? I think this is one of the promoted teams. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Yeah, not going to.
Concarnoise?
I'm guessing the end is Noir or something like that. Maybe not even. Anyway, Paris FC, Saint Etienne, Angers, all up there. I guess it's only Ligue 2 here. So, yeah, all you Auxerre stackers, this is it. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't think any of those other fixtures look that amazing. I think the Auxerre one does look really good there, doesn't it? 54% win ratio or win percentage chance and high free goals. But yeah, I think the rest of them just be what we know of these second division guys. Again, it might just be a few standalone ones that stand out. Like I see and again, I know some of these fixtures will be against each other, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't talk out of turn. But Amiens, for example, like their goalkeeper matchup indicator -31. I can't really work out who that is they're playing, but they're probably not going to keep a clean sheet from that.
Troyes probably averaged. You told me they averaged 1.5 shots per game, and that's why the goalkeeper average is not great, I bet. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. They've just sacked their manager finally as well, Patrick Kisnorbo. So he was the guy they gave the job to as they got promoted to Ligue 1, or they sacked a guy in Ligue 1. He took them down, he kept the job, and he's been rancid, obviously. So they've finally got rid of him. So, like, Troyes might not, if that's who the opponent is, actually, they may have that wee, bounce after the shadows left the training ground kind of thing. So maybe one to watch out for.
Mike said, I need to have perfect French pronunciations of all teams next week or after next week when I go to France. You know what, Mike? That's fair.
That's
maybe we'll do a little content around that. That's a good idea. Anyway.
And then I think what we should do the first time you're back from France is for everyone that you nail, we get likes or something. That's, for everyone that we get, people have to ring in with them. lock them in.
I like that. I like it. The worst part is that I'll just forget, and then I'll just revert back to whatever terrible pronunciations I had. I don't know if he would want me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. But I got some news here from Sam Ty that Saint Etienne's regular starting goalkeeper, Gaultier Laussenor, maybe, is back in training and should return soon. And this guy was on an absolute heater before he got hurt. So that's, I believe, Etienne Green has been starting for them. Yeah, there he is. And so I believe his days are numbered now. Just for the
Etienne Green drama will be continuing. And
what's that?
The Etienne Green drama will be continuing.
Yes, exactly. Did he finally age out after this season? Or is he still only? No idea. Does he have one more year? Oh, he's got another year.
Wow.
May the drama continue.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right, Genesis. He's no Yahya Fofana. He is not, for sure.
No.
That's all I got on second division. Let's check out some Asia. We got Asian Champions League, of course. I believe this is the final round of fixtures. Al Nassr away to, wow, what is that?
Istiqbal. It feels like Iran or Iraq or something. Istiqbal.
Tajikistan.
I feel we've done this one before. Tajikistan. Or maybe there's two Tajikistan.
I think there might be multiple.
Dushanbe. What? I've never heard that place before. There you go. They play football everywhere, you know?
I mean, I tell you. How big is this stadium? That's always one of the things that get me. Like 20,000 seats. That's pretty big.
Yeah. And a running track.
They do have a, look at that, Cedric Gogoa.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Formerly of, Cheska Moscow, why not?
Yeah, he likes to get paid.
Okay. Mike's going to pretend like he knew where it was. Tajikistan.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Near the Afghan border.
There you go. He's on Google Maps, Mikey.
Yeah.
he's on fire. Or he's maybe done prior prep for this away fixture or something, maybe.
There you go.
Like we were doing last week, checking the flight plans and all that. I
Sure.
see Urababa are playing Hanoi, who are definitely a team from Vietnam.
Yeah.
So that could be very good for Urawa, even though they're probably home and hosed in their group. But it should be a game where they probably score a few goals.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I thought they won 6-0 in the first leg.
Yeah, so they should probably get that.
Soul saying there's more ACL in a week's time. I don't know why I thought this was the last one.
I think this is the last of the group, is it not?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, should be the last of the group, unless
they're
there's like
playing,
a super group somewhere.
Unless you don't play everyone 4 times, do you? Can't be that.
I can't be, right? Not to go ahead on too much, but I guess they do.
Oh, it's just different groups finishing.
Just a couple, yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, last group game is split. So it's the last match of these teams from 4:30. It's their last match, but not the last match of all of the champions. Okay, thank you for that clarification for sure. So yeah, Wuhan 3 towns against Pohang. It's got some cards in it. Well, actually, do we have more than just Davidson? I never remember. I guess we do. Park Ji-soo. Is that the... Yeah, that was the Army team. Davidson scored last week, I remember, because Harry sent me he scored against Urawa, and Harry sent me a video of the goal, not because of Davidson, but because Alexander Schultz, who somebody was saying, Alex Wilson, Schultz 100 loading. Schultz had an error led to goal because he slipped, and it was the first time where I actually saw Davidson play football, like that goal. And I was like, oh my gosh, he is real. Remember we spoke previously that I'm not sure the Chinese Super League is real. Like I saw that and I was like, okay, it looks like the guy on the card. Like he looks exactly the same and he scored. And I was like, okay, at the very least, Davidson is real.
Yep.
Alex said it was a pretty obvious error led to goal. I mean, he just slipped.
I think the funny part about that is how it's recorded as an action of his, although he's not really created an action. I think that's probably where I think the frustration in that one goes, because it's not like he had the ball and lost it. The attacker has the ball the whole time, and he's faced up, and then he just slips. He doesn't actually
shoddy pitch.
He doesn't actually enter a duel. He doesn't actually like confront the ball as such. So I get that part of it being like a wild decision on Opta for you, but like he is the fault. Like if he doesn't fall, the guy doesn't get the shot away. But it's a funny one to see.
Shoddy pitch led to goal. That's what I'm calling that one. That's SPLTG. But yes, if he doesn't slip, then no goal for sure. I have no idea if Laporte is back. If anybody does, great place to share that news. Did we look up is that who we just looked up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we didn't know, because we probably knew it as here, Istiklal, instead of the QOL versus KOL. That's why we got it wrong.
Yeah.
Let's see. Champion America? We've got
Laporte looks to be good. He's in the projections.
Who?
Laporte is in the projections.
Okay. Oh, David said Laporte has traveled. All right, there we go. Can't play if you don't travel. So there you go. Traveling all the way to the near the Afghan border. I just know that.
Just a world football guy,
Yeah, just always been a big football geography guy. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do it again, but I don't know where this is. Primera. Is that Ecuador? Colombia? Yeah.
Primera must be Ecuador, because I think Liga Pro is the one I keep thinking is Ecuador and it's Colombia. So that must be Colombia. Or the other way around, maybe.
I just lost them. Where did they go? Our odds aren't that good. All right. Deportes Tolima. Where are you? Colombia.
Hey, we got it.
All right. No cards, of course. But and then we have a little Liga MX playoffs. If anyone did their lineups before today in the lineup builder, there were matches yesterday. And so some of these matches were added to the game week, I believe. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I feel like they would have played them anyway. I don't know. I feel like one of my cards popped up out of nowhere, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that guy."
Oh, that happens.
There it is.
A couple of Mexico games at the bottom. Still Brazil. Every time we look at this, it feels like there's some Brazilian games on, and it's the same kind of teams. Like a lot of those clubs that we have Fortaleza, Palmeiras, of course, to an extent. But a lot of these other teams have got like 3 or 4 cards in them. Botafogo's, Sao Paulo's, Bahia's, Flamengo's. It seems to just always have games. I'm not too close to the Brazilian league. I was quite excited when Palmeiras came out that we might have got a few more and maybe a bit easier to get under the bonnet with it. But whenever we do it, just come on this page and it is just all Brazilian. It just looks like a free-for-all for me.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, nobody better than 50% win chance. So, oh yeah, Kev Hurd. There you go. Quinones Club America. That's exactly who it was. Quinones got added. And so it probably is all 4 of them. America, San Luis, Pumas, and Tigres, after Tigres won yesterday as well. But we don't have odds for those yet. So I don't know when hopefully those come today, but they shouldn't know those are deep playoff games. So I doubt anyone is like an overwhelming favorite. Maybe they're away. I was gonna say maybe America at home against San Luis, but it's probably not. All right. Challenger. Somebody was saying, Johanneton said, why is the NEC game showing in the builder? It's a good question. Who are they playing?
Feyenoord? No.
I don't see them here. I don't have any NEC players. So
what's Volendam are playing Feyenoord? Yeah, that's weird. Volendam are showing.
I don't see them. I don't know. Johanneton, I don't know. Because I don't see them here. So I feel like if they're not here, then they wouldn't be in the builder. But yeah. ZM, sorry, yes. I'm not even coming down with something. I've had something for like 3 weeks.
Oofed.
Today just sounds worse, I guess. We'll see. Oh, Mike's saying, are they playing the remaining minutes of the game where Bas Dost collapse? It was only 5 minutes in injury time. I don't know. But yeah, I don't see it here, so it's tough for me to think. it would be included. Anyway, Feyenoord against Volendam, PSV against Heerenveen, Celtic is at Hibs.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Rapid Vienna amongst because we don't have Young Boys or St. Gallen from the Swiss Super League. Why not?
Quite a busy challenger, eh?
Very quiet challenger, yeah. Basically, the Netherlands and Scotland, right? And not even much of the Netherlands, and some random Austrian game.
So having a look at this, Rangers Hearts is going to be really interesting. I know a lot of people stack up on Hearts because they're kind of good value and should be like a top 4 team quite consistently. Rangers, obviously at the weekend, didn't have the best of. I don't think. How did their match actually go? I remember, but they were. Oh, it was Europe that went badly. I was thinking, why were they complaining and stuff? But yeah, so Rangers are still kind of. They've got a cup final coming up. Is it against Hearts and Aberdeen? Like quite soon. So the pressure's really on them. So. Hearts going away to Ibrox. Like if you've got any Hearts players, like some of the decisive, capable guys, like probably a decent midweek away, floodlights. Rangers a wee bit against the ropes at the moment. Could be good fun for Hearts cards. I know there's not that many Rangers cards. It's hard to really put it through that lens, but if you've got Hearts players, like your goalkeeper's going to get some AA. Just need to keep the goals under 3, and it could be halfway fun.
I'm going to say the same thing that Alex said. Noppert could also have a huge game playing away to PSV, as long as he doesn't concede 3. But I look at that and I'm like, man, that's going to be an 8-0 drubbing.
Yeah, it could be. And another stack that's quite popular there, Aberdeen are at home to Kelly. So, see, with that, I would be maybe a wee bit more nervous on Aberdeen just with the weather we've been getting recently. Like, it's we get really bad snow in Scotland on Friday. Or was it Saturday? It was one of the 2 days. No, it was Friday. And it's not been like that since. I think it's at that point where it's too cold to snow, if anyone knows what that means. But it gets to the point where, it's just... So maybe it doesn't snow. But Aberdeen is very north. And if the weather was to turn, Aberdeen's probably on the front line of bad weather. So I'd maybe, before playing Aberdeen, teams check in with some of the Aberdeen locals that are in the Sorare community and check your weather forecasts on Google and stuff, just to be safe. As much as anything, just a wee word of caution.
Sco said Aberdeen always is bad weather. Bring it on, you softies.
That's it.
It's just on the list of places I'll never go because of that. I am a softie. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Mike said, "Where's the weather guru when you need him?" The fact that there's no Sorare Weather Twitter account is kind of crazy.
Yeah, there must be some sort of Randy Marsh geologist type going around that. We could just get to do the weather.
There's one for baseball here in the States. Like he's a fantasy sports guy, and he's a weatherman, and like he tracks weather because like in baseball, like if it rains, they don't play, and so like you don't want to have guys who are in games that might get canceled. It's crazy. Yeah. Ian says it's not to go below freezing in Scotland this week. So you're just being dramatic, Quinny.
Okay. Just a word of caution.
Yeah.
Because I'm from Scotland, and whenever I'm doing these shows and we're maybe talking about like Germany or Spain or America, these types of places, I always love it when people tell me something that you wouldn't know from your, from where you wake up every day, like. So just a wee word of warning. That's all.
Alex Wilson said, word of caution ahead of game week 431, which is this weekend. The weather in Russia looks like it's going to be minus 15. That is cold.
Yeah, that is cold. What's the coldest you've ever been, like weather temperature-wise?
It's one of those that like, it probably wasn't that cold, but it was like the feels like temperatures. Like if it's really windy or something. Let me see. I'm trying to think of. I'm actually also going to convert it into Celsius for you. I think minus 22 is the coldest I've felt. Yeah, it was minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I remember once, and like I had to go outside for something, and within seconds, you know what it was? My eyes started watering, and it froze to my face.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was.
Where was that?
Really cold. What's that?
Where was that?
Like here. like in
and your home
right outside of
town,
New York. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
We had like an absurd cold chill, and it came in, and Dion says, "Hey guys from Bali." I'm guessing it's much nicer in Bali than it is the weather we're talking about.
Was that like 10 years ago or something?
No, it wasn't even that long. Oh, actually,
Ish.
I don't know if it was that far. That far.
Like 2012. I was going to say for me, I've seen Scotland in minus 18, and I thought that was crazy, like Celsius. So I'd be like minus.
It is crazy.
What Fahrenheit is like.
No.
6
Don't
or
worry,
something,
that
maybe.
is crazy.
And that was like, was that Beast from the East? I can't remember, but it was like a mad storm. It was like years ago, maybe about 10. I just, when you said that there, I thought, maybe it was the same time.
It might have been. Scozer said my coldest was minus 26, wind chill below 66. That's like South Pole stuff. Like you must be in Antarctica because I can't think of any reason. Mike Batson said we went on holiday to Iceland one year and had a temp increase of 10 degrees Celsius, -2 in the UK to 8 in Reykjavik.
That's funny.
All right. Now that we've done the weather portion of this show, would you play your Feyenoord PSV guys in All-Star or how do I? Oh, here we go.
It's a difficult one because there's 3 of us in there this week. 3 kind of bigger teams at home. Our game's probably the hardest. Hibs are not a pushover. So I think the Dutch boys have maybe got, they've got the scores in them to kind of do what they want, So it's really, if you've got the key 5 for Feyenoord or PSV, I think it's really up to you what you want to try and your hand at. Whereas with like Celtic and maybe some of the bits and pieces of those squads, if you don't have the Veerman, you don't have the the Stengs or whatever, maybe the Caps are probably the place to try and hide. All-Star midweek is obviously wildly underplayed, and any combination of these guys I think would have a shot in any of the All-Stars depending on scarcities and stuff like that. But yeah, I think like if you wanted to bully a midweek region, I think it's Feyenoord's or PSV's to do. I don't think it will be Celtic unless we really did turn up in that respect. So that's kind of what I would think. Volendam in such bad form, says Mickey Fu. Yeah, they're always on these lists.
Oh, yeah. You're always going to find them at the top, but as the opponent, not as the actual team. So I was just looking at the St. Gallen, see how many cards we have from them and Young Boys. I feel like there's not much Swiss Super League stacking, but I guess there are some cards. Not so bad, I guess.
Couple odds and ends.
All right, champion. We've got the Premier League and Ligue 1. So obviously we're saying how their winter special is running this week. Liverpool away. Is that Sheffield United? Sure is. And then Arsenal away to Luton. Man City away to Aston Villa. And Tottenham, the top home favorite, home against West Ham, followed by Wolves at home against Burnley. And then
I think Wolves Burnley is the best fixture that you read out there, to be honest with you. Marseille Lyon will be fun because it's like, it's quite a tight game. I don't think it's really good for SO5. Arsenal, I suppose Luton's probably quite good, I guess. I don't know about Liverpool and Sheffield. With their manager just getting sacked, you can see Sheffield United maybe keep it a bit tighter. Maybe they only get beat 1 or 2-0, maybe, because they've just sacked their manager, that kind of thing. And Arsenal, you can see sometimes with some of these teams when they play Luton, they will maybe rotate a bit or take it a bit lightly. You never know with Arsenal, but I don't know. When you read through those, I just thought Wolves, just with the injustice they've had recently as well, they're in decent enough form. Like, that could be a game where they really like go and beat somebody, kind of thing. And see, but some of those other clubs, I'm not sure. Just my first glance over it would be quite as, that team will be really motivated for this match. Arsenal will be motivated, obviously, but
Sure. Man City also without Doku, Rodri, and Grealish, I believe. Yep. Grealish was the third one, right? Yeah. So helpful for Villa, for sure.
Helpful for Villa and helpful for us. Well, a wee bit less Pep Roulette to worry about. So I think like Foden, Alvarez, Bernardo Silva have been pretty nailed on, but then it's the other bits around them. Now, Rodri won't play. Kovacic is probably going to start. Grealish and Doku are out. So Bernardo Silva probably moves further forward, and that gives space for someone else to play, where he has been playing next to Rodri. So again, this could be a really fun game for Villa. They're at home. And I can't remember how their game went against Bournemouth on Sunday, so I've not caught up with everything because I was in Newcastle Saturday. But I know McGinn gets subbed off really early. So I know that they definitely have got a wee bit of rest into some of their players ahead of this game. I think Villa will be right up for this one. And with Man City's centre midfield, look at that. Walker and Lewis is what the projections are. It's probably going to be Akanji and Lewis, with Walker being where Akanji is.
Yeah.
You know, that's just way suboptimal what City have been this year on paper. You know, we've seen City over the last 5 or 6 years under Pep be, all conquering. That lineup could beat Villa, obviously. It's just the Pep way, the City way. But, if Villa did scooch this 3-2 or 2-1, I wouldn't be one bit surprised.
I was mostly looking to see if maybe this was finally the week we get a Calvin Phillips start, and the answer seems unlikely.
Indeed. Wow.
What a strange signing that was and continues to be.
Well, it's training partners. That's what they're signing. It's, see if you listen to Guardiola, see when City played Palmer, played Chelsea, and Cole Palmer was in the Chelsea team along with Sterling and maybe somebody else ex-City's in that team now. But Pep said something like, I think it was after the game because Palmer scored. The guy asked him something like, should you have kept him or something like that? Or I can't remember. It was something to do with, do you think he's proved himself to you or something like that? And Pep made a statement to signify that he's earned the medals that he collected at City from how good a training participant he was to keep the first team to that high level because he's clearly of that level, etc., etc. So that's what Calvin Phillips is. He's just an apex training participant, elite world class defensive midfield training participant. That's what he is.
That's such a great line. World-class training participant. We could all dream of being one day being world-class training participants. Anyway, let's see. Are there any sneaky ones here that people might be trying to get cute with? Doesn't seem like it, actually. Fulham at home against Nottingham Forest, maybe?
Yeah, Fulham could be handy. Fulham are good for goals. I think the ones that I think Wolves is maybe the overlooked one behind Arsenal and Liverpool on people's first glance, but I think Wolves is the one to be excited for. And Newcastle, honestly, I seen them on Saturday and well impressed with so many of their players compared to what I was beforehand. And I wouldn't put anything past them. They love attacking, they love going forward. Away to Everton, I don't know how good it scores SO5 wise, but the matchup indicators there are big and green. So that could be a good one.
Have you been playing the Premier League special winter?
Nah. I didn't have enough cards for it, unfortunately. No goalkeeper. And I think if I had a goalkeeper, I could have maybe just about scrambled a 5 together once in a while. Depends on the colour of the goalkeeper. But nah, I wasn't prepared enough to go for it. But I think they'll keep doing the Premier League one. I bought some Premier League Limiteds to do the Jersey Premier League 3-week special thing they done, right at the beginning of the season. And I'm hopefully confident that they don't. I think the Premier League thing will retain. I think they'll do winter, spring, summer, or something like that, end of season, beginning of season. But I'm hopeful we get other Champion Euro parallels.
Sure.
So I've got, I could go full La Liga, I could go full Serie A with a lot of my cards I've got, for different goalkeepers and whatever. So I thought, I heard someone say it on this channel, I forget what show it was to credit them, I'm sorry, but sometimes when these competitions come out, I've done that thing where you go, oh, I only need one guy, and then you buy the one guy and it's I'll just buy another 2 to be safe. And then you play the first game week and you're like, why did I even bother? I was never going to win this, in a month for Sundays. So I've kind of learned from that experience of myself, and someone else has referenced it on this channel. So I'll wait for my time when they do my competition.
There we go. David Taylor said you'll need Liverpool or Arsenal cards to do well this week in the Prem special, unless those cards go into Champ Europe, which they certainly could.
Yep. Been an interesting divide this week, between that kind of situation, especially because if you are going after that Premier League one, then it's a big payout potentially this week, and some of the fixtures for those stacks that David's talked about, the ones that people have spent good money on, they'll be chasing ROI, I think, this game week.
For sure. Well, Kev Hurd's given a shout to Palace this week, home against Bournemouth.
Edward scored at the weekend, which was good. It could be a good one again for Palace. Good time to be an Edward holder for sure. I don't have enough super rare goalkeepers, but this week I've only got one. So it's either play unique McGregor or play unique Edward in a 5-man team. And I'm probably going to go with McGregor just because it's Celtic, But no, great time for Edward, certainly. And I think that's a good game for Palace. But Bournemouth aren't any mugs either. But Palace aren't really that great now. They're just about getting a goal or two, getting a result or so, but they're not looking, they're not putting a run on. So, good by the way.
Who was it? Alex said, even with Spurs away, I expect good games from JWP and Paqueta. Did you see how much the James Ward-Prowse unique went for?
Oh, I didn't know. What was it?
What do you think it went for?
Is it a fancy picture?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't think so, but let me look before I
don't spoil it because I'm looking at the screen.
It's a great question. I'll pull it up somewhere else. Let's see.
If it's not a fancy picture, I'm going to say
not a fancy picture.
I think Matt O'Reilly unique recently went for about 10 or so ETH. So it's hard to imagine JWP is less than that because of the profile, etc. But it's hard to imagine.
O'Reilly's U23 though, isn't he?
He's U23, but he's at Celtic, So like, I always think with some of those guys, you've got that jeopardy of the transfer into their price. What if you leave Celtic, then he's not the same guy he is at the moment, whereas he's at West Ham. He's not really going to change much in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 11.5 ETH.
Oh, there was a steal, Quinny. He closed at 9, just under 9.
Oh, that's okay.
5 days ago. I didn't even realize it was that far away. Somebody mentioned it this past weekend. Yeah, 8.996.
I think somebody would pay you 11.5 for it. Not that Bambi's interested in selling for a quick flip most of the time for 10% or whatever that would be, 20%. But yeah, I reckon. I suppose the other 23 thing stands up a bit better than against that. Should be a bit more expensive on that basis. But I say that's maybe where I differ from the market. I don't always agree with a lot of market pricing because with some like I've got O'Reilly and it's great, right? But I would struggle to buy O'Reilly today if I was anyone out there because it's like you're waiting for when that changes. Now, we did just sign a 4-year contract in the summer, so I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But like I mentioned with the weather, sometimes I can maybe just be a bit too cautious, or a bit too, guard against the unforeseen happening. So fair enough, I guess, on that one. But
I'm going to pretend that if it was the new season, the special one, then it would have been 11.5, surely.
Special edition unique for collection bonus, Laird?
That's right. No collection bonus for uniques, though.
In that division or in general, do you mean?
Anywhere. There are no unique collections.
Did they change that?
Am I wrong about that? I thought they didn't have it at all.
I thought they do.
Mostly because you can rarely get a jersey mint. Every card is the first is the one of whatever.
Oh, you definitely get collections for them. You definitely get collections for them.
Okay.
It's just like you say, that's bare bones. I'm looking at one now. But yeah, you definitely do. So a special edition, we'll be looking at one of them later, I think, won't we? Special edition unique would be pretty healthy for some extra XP bonuses.
Just what you need the extra 1% when you're already getting 40% on with your unique. But
that's it.
For those of you who are unaware, though, we are doing an Erling Haaland unique special edition unique auction watch on Thursday. Quinny will be there. So come join us. All right. Pick scores, All-Star Limited. Shockingly, we have some Feyenoord guys near the top and PSV. Bruno is very high against Chelsea, but I guess Bruno feels like... So I mentioned on some show last week that I should probably just sell my Bruno, and you're the reason I don't.
I heard that. Yeah.
Quinny, I got 5 offers for that card this weekend.
Oh, really? After you saying that?
I didn't even put it on the market, but people are DMing me or sending offers just like, oh, I'll take it. Here you go. And my problem with Bruno is I feel like he never has a good game. Obviously, he has so many of them, but I feel like I just never take advantage of them.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I'm struggling to get wins with my McGinn. I heard you saying that. I think it was your Friday show because I was driving and I managed to catch a lot of Sorare podcast content over the weekend. So I was doing a lot of driving. It was great. But no, I caught that and I had a good laugh when you mentioned that. And I was giving it a bit of that to Haber as well when we were on earlier today. So if you listen to that, you probably won't sell it like again. But honestly, mate, like as well when you did win that. We've spoke about it kind of on and off, and you speak about it quite a lot in different shows with collections and whatever. But you should definitely get that Bruno to like 2% with like an Ericsson and like some bits and bobs.
I thought about it for
the way
sure.
to go.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, who was the guy that didn't have a card that then? Oh, there was somebody that was kind of cheat codey. It was somebody like Ericsson. I forget who it was. Oh, was it Dallo? Maybe Dallo. Did he get a card from last season? Because I don't think he got one for a while. That's what kind of scuppered that.
Yeah, he has them. Yeah, I had a few offers out for his jersey mint.
That's what it was. He was overpriced, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's what it was.
But
it's a good international kind of cohort you get out of Man United.
So it's funny you say that because I already have like a few guys from Portugal, and so like Delo makes sense to add. I also had a Bernardo Silva that I got rid of because I just feel like I was never playing that card. But like I have João Felix, I have Bruno, I have Ruben Diaz. It's like I really should just have. The problem is that Costa is still the goalkeeper, and he couldn't be any more expensive. So. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, seems like a lot of
AAA
this week for a random midweek, but
I think that will be a good one for Bruno because Chelsea will foul Man United quite a bit in that game. You know, see the way both those teams want to play there now. So Bruno will get a lot of set pieces, I think. You know, and if he gets a lot of set pieces, it's probably one of those big green games. I seen Man United. The first time I've seen Bruno in person at the weekend, he was pretty. You know, he was kind of efficient, I suppose. Like, didn't really put a foot wrong or anything, but Man United were just honestly like woeful, like terrible. So it's hard to imagine the decisives come, but they're at home and he will get on a lot of set pieces. So I see the triple.
I felt that way about Bruno this weekend. I was like, man, this guy's just not that good. And then I look back 80, 85, 9. I'm like, where did these scores? What was I doing? Let's check out the good old Harry Trades midweek U23. Let's see. How is he going to win it this week? How many do we have? Oh, that's a lot. Maybe not all these guys start.
Zach Hammond.
Connor's the number one, AAA. Alamdar, that card just drives me nuts.
Is he still pricey?
It's absurd. It's absurd. Excuse me. I didn't know Paris FC had a U23 goalie till 2027. That's a nice matchup.
Busy guy.
Cambadio. It's fun to say.
Yeah, it is.
Adel and Dennis away. Verbruggen definitely starting this one.
Oh, is there ever a definite? Tough game for Brighton. Who do they have again? Brentford. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a straight 50-50 on projections. Coin toss.
Great. Tobias said the Paris FC have had a solid run since Cambadio took over. Genesis said he's in the France U21s.
That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, there you go.
All aboard.
Not cheap. No selling.
And again, to come back to that kind of nerve or the overcaution, again, I look at a guy like that and it's like, yeah, brilliant at Paris. But what happens is Leon buys him and puts him on the bench. And then like they develop him and then maybe you see him play in 2 years or something. So always got to be careful with those ones.
Might have a last hurrah for Etienne Green here. Who is this guy? Nawaf Al Akidi.
That's got to be a
it's Al Nasser's
global
goal.
World Cup card or something, surely.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even have them. Yep.
But no, I like Zach Hemming there. I think he's been in good form. He was unlucky against Celtic, and I know a lot of people that watch Scottish football intently are all rate him quite well. The St Mirren goalkeeper there, and Ian, I think he's here in the chat. Won't be too happy to hear this, but St Johnson won't be scoring 3 goals in that game. So like there's good opportunity there for a guy on L1546 under 23 to outperform.
He's got some decent AA scores when he wants.
Look at that. He got 60 plus against St Johnstone not long ago. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Where was that? I just saw. Here we go. Yeah. 4-0. Ooh.
You might. You might.
Might.
For your sake, I hope you do. For your sake, I hope
There
you do,
you go.
Ian, of course. But it's probably not going to
happen. Fofana, actually the top U23 player pick score-wise of the entire game week, followed by Bakayoko from PSV, some guy named Erling Haaland, and then Santiago Jimenez.
It's a strong five there. If you've got Fofana, Bakayoko, Haaland, would you play Dest and Fadinger in the best five? I don't know, but
I don't even know who Lucas Fadinger is. But he seems to, do you think he scored 100 this week, just looking at this? Did he? Oh, not really.
No, it's just the AAA. Must just be that AAA kicking in.
21 all around in 67 minutes, though. Where is he?
Wee Faddy.
What was his name again? Fadinger. Why am I completely... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. That's why. Let's see. Just put in the defensive work. Simple as that. Little triple-double. Double-double. I guess it's just, pick score price run. $2 limited. Why not? I'd play it. Yeah, I don't know. They're all good. Somebody said before, was it Mike? Yeah, Burmo time. Here he is.
Yeah. Could be a good game for them. I don't know. I would stay away from Brentford and Brighton if you could this week. I think both those teams are just going to knock each other's teeth out. You know, like they're not, none of them are going to take the game lightly. Both of them are pretty handy. You know, if you could take a winner, then fair enough. Feel free to back one of them, but it won't be me.
It feels, it feels like one of those is either going to be 0-0 or 5-4.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe. I don't know. Let's check out Cap 220.
Who's the cheat code?
Giggle. Oh, Kelly Roos, first up there.
AAA. That's good, by the way. 40 cost for Roos now. You're getting the benefit of those game week killers he's been dropping, you know. 40's good. Home to Kelly, that will be good. Kelly will get some shots away, some free kicks and stuff on target. Yeah, good for Kel Roos. Number wee guy here on 16. Ooh. Interesting.
So you prove your dedication to the pick score if you're willing to play that guy.
Jumping on that, yeah.
Let's see. None of these guys have like confirmed starting indicators. This is the first one. Lucas Cal from America Mineiro, not to be confused with Atletico Mineiro. Decent chance to outscore his. Well, probably not. Man, it always amazes me seeing players just have negative AA every game.
Yeah, and still get picked every week.
Mm-hmm.
Who analyzes? You know, who analyzes the performances of these teams? You know,
for real. Tobias said no cheat code. Said, it doesn't look like any strong cheat codes. Our boy Gary Kackelmacher wasn't exactly the cheat code I was hoping for last week.
I think I was hopeful City might add one just for the suspensions and whatever, but I say the game isn't great for them away to Villa. It's hard to think that getting Kovacic in on 42 because he should start quite comfortably. And somebody like Kovacic will probably need to grab the game by the scruff of the neck with no Rodri and Bernardo Silva been in a different position. But like again, I say it's not that great a game. You're looking for suspensions now. You're looking for an injury. You're looking for the known midweek rotation. Might not show up in the pick score. But that's the benefit of paying attention at the weekend is, you know, like, Grealish get booked and Rodri get booked and, you know, these things. Yep.
And, I mean, it's still early on Monday. We could get some more news, so you never know what pops up. And then maybe tomorrow morning. So I assume there'll be some more Premier League.
I know one. Eddie Pope's out for 4 or 5 months. Dislocated shoulder. Dubravka will be playing for Newcastle. Dubravka, 44. What did I say? Eddie Pope. I do that all the time. Mate, see whenever I'm recording Newcastle content, I have to do that so often. See when I'm doing a bit about Pope, I'll be thinking, did I call him Eddie or Nick for the last 10 minutes? and then I'll just need to do it again to be safe. But Dubravka, L1544 is not quite as exciting as I thought he might have been. But price-wise, not too bad. 20 quid for a limited. Was cheaper. What was the rare before it happened?
The last one was $93. So what is that? 0.04. Somebody bought 0.2. Oh, wow. Phil's bought 2 of them. 3 of them.
Good on you.
51 feels high. Jeez. Does he have a score dropping off? Well, not for a while. A couple game weeks. Alex says in before Newcastle get De Gea or Ramsdale in January.
Yeah, that's the big rumours going around now. De Gea would be a funny one because what's he been doing this whole time? Like, you know what I mean? I've seen him turn up somewhere, like a former club, and he was playing golf or something. I can't remember where it was. But what's he been up to, man? What's he doing?
What's crazy to me is that he's still kind of expensive. Yes. Like every so often, like a goalie gets hurt and someone's like, maybe they should get De Gea. And everyone's like, yeah, maybe I should go buy one. And like, this is not a price, of a player who does not literally play a single game. That is not
owned by a club. Not registered to any football team in the world. Right. There's a comment there from Haggis asking about could they get a loan from Saudi. I think all the goalkeepers in Saudi are Asian and African nationals. And in January, you don't want to loan them in. So probably not going to happen.
That's a good observation. I was just going to bring up, isn't Mendy over there? But you're right. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
Tobias said De Gea has been rumored to Betis for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one to me always, that he just never gets cheap. Because like surely he starts when he signs. Like he's not done. But
look at the price of his rare, how it's displayed there on screen. What's happened there?
That looks like an error. Oh, somebody.
Oh, Basilisk. Oh, I think we've maybe spoken. I think I've maybe seen this on your thing.
He's had a couple of those misprices that, yeah. And since it was listed publicly, that becomes the last public offer because these are probably all private.
Roger.
He sold another one. Basil and Pavel selling. I don't know. One day. It is kind of crazy that he didn't end up in Saudi Arabia also.
I think so too. I think that, he's a great goalkeeper, but he's his biggest problem is getting all the money he get paid, like, because he's just been absolutely shackled to them for the last 10 years. And he's good in that, but goalkeepers are one of those positions where like you get one and you stick with him. And any team that's like on that top level have not needed a David De Gea for about 5 or 6 years, and they still don't need one. You know what I mean? So it is a Betis or a Newcastle. You need an opportunity for him to move into, because he's not going to go to Inter Milan or Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or something at this point, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's just so Tobias has said he was on 300K a month. He's on 0K a month right now, though. I realize that he probably has a lot saved up, but like, I don't know.
We're getting paid more right now than David De Gea, which is...
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Harry Trades makes more playing professional football than David De Gea right now. So,
yeah.
Haggis said at 33, he could easily have another 5 decent seasons in him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell, in Japan, he could have 20 more seasons.
Jesus. Imagine he turned up with Vissel Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. De Gea, Mata, just go. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. But that has absolutely nothing to do with this game week, which I think we summarized pretty well. I don't think there's anything we left out, right?
Good fun. I think this one, for if you've got a team going out, I think everyone will have a wee hope whatever division they're in. I don't know how many people will be going for, like, so I don't know about you, Laird, but I'm not playing any 220s in this one. I've got goalkeepers, but I'm not like, I'll play them in 220 and I'll try and like get an advantage, or I'll try and make up for lost ground, or I'm not even looking at the long forms for the midweek. Be interested to see how many people do. What's your kind of take on the long form? You still in it?
I bought 2 cards for last midweek, and to surround. So I have a Kieran Dewsbury Hall limited, and I was like, "Oh, Leicester have a good matchup." From this show, I was like, "Leicester have a good matchup." So I bought Ricardo Pereira and Jamie Vardy. Vardy scored at the weekend off the bench. I was like, "Oh, he'll start." Vardy starts, Pereira starts, Dewsbury Hall bench.
Of course.
Yeah, and then so I played those in 220 limited. This current game week, I had did I play Ruse? Oh no, I have Lossell, and then I bought that Gary Kackelmacher who we found.
Oh yeah, Gary.
So he was really low. I have 2 other Midtjylland guys. So I had the extra spot I had open for a common. So I went right to the pick scores, and it was between Brian Burmo from Brentford or Nico Gonzalez from Fiorentina. Gonzalez has been incredible this season. I went with Nico, straight DNP.
Oh,
first one of the season, I think.
That's brutal.
So I'm trying, but I'm not doing very well.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too. I got DNP in my team at the weekend as well. We're both my 220s. But no, I'm not going to try and make up for lost ground this midweek with it or anything. But again, some people might, they might be just like, oh, I'm not going to get card. I'm not going to get freshy. Let's just try and get a wee 270. Might help me along the month or something or whatever.
What I started to tell myself or remind myself is it doesn't matter if you have the best score in the lowest scoring week. You just need 4 high scores. So doing really well in a midweek doesn't matter if your 4 weekend scores are better. And so I need to remind myself that doing things like buying a Jamie Vardy card is not actually going to help me. So we'll see.
Well, I might have.
We'll see. Yeah, You're right. We'll see. Rico Mon said, not sure if you guys talked about it. Where do you guys think Wagner will go? I assume that's Kai Wagner. And I bet he comes up on the strategy show later today, because we have Sorare USA coming on to talk about off-season MLS and whether you should buy now or not. I'll give a little spoiler. All I hear is people saying this is a great time to buy MLS, and I am going to take the contrarian view on that. That's all. But you had something?
I would like to say at this point, I would like Kai Wagner to come to Celtic if he's on a free. But I've recently came across something in the reference. They said they had some sort of racist outburst recently or something. So then clubs don't tend to go for those players for a while, so out of contract, but Celtic's favourite price, as I always say. And he's been begging to come to Europe.
Yeah. I think he wants to go back to Germany, and the hope from people who have his Sorare cards is that he goes to the 2nd division. And I'm guessing he would like to play in the top flight, but we'll see.
But we can help him do that. We had Josip Juranovic play for us, and we sold him to Union Berlin. So if Kai Wagner wants to realise his dream of playing in the Bundesliga, Celtic could help him get there if he's good enough. So if you want to play for Union Berlin, if that's your dream, Kai Wagner, then we could maybe help you out.
All right, there we go. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you could please subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to this guy right here. We'll be back on Wednesday to talk about the weekend game week. And I was saying to Quinny, next week is going to be might be a little time adjusted, but we're going to try to keep doing the shows. The following week, my guess is there will be Christmas is a Monday. We do this show Monday. Quinny and I are not going to be here Christmas Monday. So just prepare for that as well. Haggis said Union Berlin will be 2nd division soon as well. So it's a perfect circle. It's a great point. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for joining, and good luck this midweek.